What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We're going to be talking about the new Apple TV Plus film, The Beanie Bubble, starring Zach Galifianakis, Elizabeth Banks, Sarah Snook, and Geraldine Viswanathan, and tells the story of Ty Warner, who is a frustrating toy salesman, until his collaboration with three women grew his idea into the biggest toy craze in history. Now, this year we have been getting a lot of biopics. We have been getting Tetris, Blackberry, Hot Cheetos, and now we're getting the Beanie toys. And what separates this movie from what feels like all the other films is the fact that this movie is told from three separate points of views, and we see how Ty Warner was able to make this plush toy successful using these three women in different points of his life. And that right there is what I feel separates this movie from all the other biopics that we have in this movie. And even though we do have three separate points of views from three separate times, we bounce back and forth. There's a lot of narration in this movie, and I think Zach Galifianakis does a really good job of playing a very dickish Ty Warner, and I had thought Zach Galifianakis was fantastic as Ty Warner. It took me a while for me to recognize Zach Galifianakis, even though his voice is very recognizable. He does look completely different without the beard, so that's what kind of threw me off just a little bit, but I really liked his performance. And do you feel like this movie could have just been Zach Galifianakis and Geraldine Viswanathan? Because at the end of the day, it feels like both of them are the more central characters of this movie. You do have some moments with Elizabeth Banks, and you see the relationship that she had with Ty Warner. You have Sarah Snook, who plays Shayla, his wife, and you see that relationship flourish and see what it became. And it was very interesting to see that this movie really isn't about Ty Warner making the Beanie Babies, and it was more about how it became successful. And I thought it was fantastic. Geraldine Viswanathan is somebody I think deserves a lot more credit than she actually gets, because I fell in love with her in Blockers. I thought she was very charismatic, and then she appeared in the 2020 film The Broken Heart Gallery, a movie that I think is underrated, and I thought she had wonderful chemistry with Dr. Montgomery in that movie, and I think she has fantastic chemistry with Zach Galifianakis. Seeing them go back and forth, seeing the relationship just not only flourish, but seeing what made them tick, I thought was great, and I think she is a force to be reckoned in this movie. Elizabeth Banks is fantastic as always, and I think she did a fantastic job, even though she doesn't get a lot of screen time. I felt, and you could have used a little bit more of her. I thought whenever she was on screen, it was very interesting to see the ups and downs that her character had with Ty Warner. And then you also have Sarah Snook, who plays Shayla, his wife, who has two kids, and you kind of see the backstabbery in that relationship right there. And I think that is where I kind of felt this film kind of flourish. It is about an hour and 50 minutes long, and it does feel like it goes on for a little bit too long, mostly because this film is being told from three different perspectives. You're bouncing from time to time, back and forth. And even though I really appreciated some of the narration in this movie, it does get a little bit heavy handed, and they're trying to put you in their situation. And I could have done without the narration throughout the entire movie, but I really enjoyed this movie for what this movie was. And I am very fascinated when it comes to biopics about successful businesses, seeing how people were able to flourish in their state of mind. And I really enjoyed this movie for what this movie was trying to do. And I thought Kristen Gore and Damian Kulash, I do apologize if I butchered the last name, because I probably did. I thought their directing style was fantastic, but it does feel like you can definitely tell that there were a couple of hands in this movie. And even though I kind of felt the runtime just a little bit, I was still very intrigued by what was going on. Seeing how these three women were behind the success of the Beanie Babies, I thought it was very interesting to see. And I think that if you are interested to see how the Beanie Babies were successful, I don't think this is a movie that anybody was asking for, but I'm glad that we got it. I thought this movie was perfectly fine. I thought it was enjoyable. It was very interesting. And if you are somebody that is interested in these kind of biopics, I think this is a wonderful year, because I think some of them have been killing it and have been very interesting. But overall, I would definitely recommend that you guys check this film out on Apple TV Plus. I think it is a very interesting story to see, and everybody just plays the role very well. I thought everybody was a standout, and you do get to see a different side to Zach Galifianakis in this movie that I didn't think we would get, but I'm really glad that we were able to get that performance out of him. But those are my thoughts on the Beanie Bubble. Are you guys planning on checking this film out, or have you guys checked it out already? Go ahead and drop your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys soon.